Getting out of bed sucks. So does going to bed. There's a quote, I don't know who said it, but it said the two things men hate the most is going to bed and waking up, which is true. There's 7 things that I use. I get out of bed on time most of the time. Sometimes I still screw it up. But these things are really helpful. Number one, which is probably the most important because it helps you get enough sleep, is be to bed on time. So most people don't think they have to be to work on time. They have to get up on time. They have to like be in the car driving on time. But they never think I have to be to bed on time. What we usually think is, I'll be all right with 4 hours of sleep. Oh, I'll be okay with 5. Most people who have trouble getting out of bed, they don't go to bed on time because they don't make it an appointment. You need to turn going to bed as an appointment, and you can't be late to it. You have to take it as seriously as showing up to work on time. If you can switch your brain into being in bed with lights off, no cell phone, anything like that, treat it like an appointment that you cannot miss. You'll get more sleep, and the more sleep you get, the easier it is to get out of bed naturally. Number 2, don't eat 4 to 6 hours before going to bed. A lot of websites and whatever say that don't eat 2 hours before bed. I still think that's kind of bullshit. It takes your body hours and hours to process a bunch of food. So if you have a bunch of food in your system and you're trying to sleep, which your body uses energy to sleep, right? Your body uses energy for cellular repair and to help recharge you. It takes energy. So if your body's busy digesting a bunch of food in your system, then you're pulling that energy away from where it needs to go, which is helping you recharge and heal your body and get you ready for the next day, to help you for cell reproduction and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I sound dumb right now. But so if you're digesting a bunch of food, you're using energy that you absolutely need. You're needlessly using it. So I've noticed if I don't eat 4 to 6 hours before bed, it's easier to go to sleep. It's easier to wake up. Number 3, place alarms away from the bed or out of the room. So if you're not able to place alarms like in the living room or kitchen or something because it's going to wake everybody up in the house, perfectly understandable. At least place them away from the bed where you have to physically get up and walk to them and turn them off. Now, I've noticed a couple of times I'll walk all the way across the room or the house and turn them off and go right back to bed. But you have to get used to doing this, and if you discipline yourself enough and train yourself, you'll get to the point where you know that if you're up and walking around, it's time to stay up. Number 4, change your alarm tone. Your brain goes into autopilot when it hears the same alarm tone over and over. And let's say that it's Pavlov's dog theory, right? So let's say that every time you hear that alarm tone, your brain is used to turning off the alarm and going back to sleep. You are conditioning your brain that every time you hear that, it's time to hit the snooze button and go back to sleep. So instead, change your tone. As soon as you notice you're getting used to it, change it, because once you hear that new tone, your brain is going to be alert and it's going to want to know what's going on. You're going to be in a mild state of shock and alertness, and you're more likely to get up. Number 5, immediately splash water on your face or get directly in the shower. I've been in the shower and I'm still half asleep. Like I'm literally half asleep, but I'm in the shower or I'm splashing water on my face. And it definitely helps because, again, it shocks you and gives you, it makes you alert. Number 6, offer someone money if you don't get up. So what I've done a couple of times is I've offered someone an amount of money that was painful for me just to give away, like just to waste it. So I've told my girlfriend a couple of times that when she's not here, if I'm not up by this time and you don't have a picture of me in the shower with water on me, by this time I owe you $100 and I will Zelle it to you immediately. So after I sent her about $400, I no longer had a problem getting up at the time I needed to be up at. And number seven, mentally rehearse in detail. This is something I talked about in the book Declare War on Yourself because it absolutely works. So when you're going to bed, if you plan out step by step and detail by detail what's going to happen the minute that alarm goes off, you're more likely to do it. It goes along the principle of just I forgot what they call it, but it's just mentally rehearsing. They say if you mentally rehearse something enough, you are more likely to be successful doing it. So here's how I do it. I imagine myself laying down and I tell myself, okay, when that alarm goes off, what is the first thing you're going to do? And I say, I'm going to turn off the alarm. Okay, but what hand are you going to use? Well, I sleep on the right side of the bed and the nightstand's on the right side of the bed. So I'm going to reach over with my right hand and turn off the alarm. Well, how do you turn off the alarm? I have to flip a switch, not hit the snooze button. I have to flip a switch. Okay, what finger are you going to use? Usually it's my middle finger to turn it off. Okay, after you do that, what are you going to do? I'm going to sit up. What are you going to do after that? I'm going to swing my legs to the right and be sitting in the sitting up position. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up. And then what are you going to do? I'm going to walk directly to the bathroom and get in the shower. Okay, well, what does that involve? It takes 5 steps, and I have to open the bathroom door. Well, what hand are you going to use? I'm going to use my right hand and open the right door to the bathroom. Okay, then how many steps is it to the shower? It's about 10 steps to the shower. And I'm going to open the shower door with my left hand, turn on the shower with my right hand, and I'm going to get in, of course, after I get undressed. But I'm going to get in there. If you can mentally rehearse that in your mind, you take all the guesswork out of it. I know it sounds completely crazy and stupid if you've never heard of it or you've never done it, but it absolutely does work. You're mentally rehearsing what actions are going to happen the minute that alarm goes off, and you're more likely to succeed in getting up. So these 7 things are things that I've used, and the reason it's important for me is because of a lot of aircraft projects I work on. Some of them are like top secret. So you have to go to work in the middle of the night, right? So sometimes I have to be to work at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., which means I have to get up at 2 or 1 a.m. And I'm not programmed to be getting up at that time. So I have to use specific tips and strategies to absolutely ensure that I don't get up, because these jobs don't play around. If you're late or you miss days, they fire you. They don't care. You are replaceable. So these 7 things help, and I hope that they help you get out of bed easier.